As well as working in conjunction with other hip-hop artists and performers to organise their own events, writers have gone a stage further in developing and promoting aerosol culture by holding their own annual events up and down the country, such as Fumes held in Nottingham, Under Pressure held in both Scotland and Ireland, 400 Mil in Birmingham, and London's Unity, now preparing for its fourth successive year in 1995.
Peace and harmony, 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 harmony. 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 Peace and harmony, 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 harmony.
The Unity events were organised by various members of PFB because we had a good site in Fulham and we thought the site really wasn't being used to its full potential. So we thought, let's organise a big day, you know, let's get everybody together and try and sort of like do something of consequence in London, try and see what kind of numbers there are still, and also just a challenge to ourselves. The crew was getting quite a lot of exposure and we were getting I don't know, a bit of fame, and we thought, look, we know a lot of people, we're down with everyone in London that's to do with writing, or if we're not down with them, we at least know who they are, we can get in contact with them. Let's test ourselves and see how many people we can get to turn up at an event, you know, have a load of different people painting, just for the sake of doing it really, just really to see if there was any interest in what was happening. And with the first one, that's what we did, and we got about 200-300 people there on a Sunday, just through word of mouth. And it was a really big achievement, and it really made us think there's still a great interest in what's happening. And the following year we looked more towards getting writers from around England and other artists and people that were involved in the writing scene but weren't necessarily riding the lines and all this kind of stuff, people that were painting and maybe, you know, doing shows or whatever it came. Just every aspect of the art form that's existing in England. We wanted to try and get everybody represented. We wanted to try and get people to bring their mums down, you know, make it an event, something of interest, not just somewhere where people flash photographs around and robbed each other, you know, like Covent Garden ended up being. We had a lot of people there from all over England. I mean, people from as far as Scotland, Cornwall, and even some people from Ireland that heard about it through our grapevine of information.
It wasn't just the writers involved in this event, because the crowd was just as important as the writers who were painting on the day. And it was a sense of like everybody came together, and there was no like grief. Nobody wanted, oh, you said this, you said that. It was just everybody come, they met each other, met people they'd never met before, and just got on with the graph, and like watching a selection of artists paint. And everybody went home happy at the end of the day. And it was a good step up in the right direction for the London graph scene.
So with regard to Unity, that's really what it's about, trying to bring together like a focus point basically, just for people to use it in their own way, you know, to come down, swap phone numbers, talk to people, meet people, just because we haven't got that really, we haven't got it anymore. We haven't got a Covent Garden meeting place. We couldn't have a regular thing because the wrong people will find out about it, come down, will fight amongst each other, stupidness basically. So to have it once a year and to have it organised by us, namely a pretty big crew, and a crew that are prepared to stand up and stop people coming down and ruining our event, okay? I think that's the only way you really can do it.
Could people outside the aerosol scene organise such an event?
I don't think people outside of writing will get the respect. If they do it, people will come down and wreck their place. A lot of people will come down and some rightly, some wrongly, will be envious and just say, oh, this is a load of rubbish, they don't know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. But with us, it's like we're a big crew and, you know, we're all active artists and they all know who we are and that, okay? So people think, yeah, well, fair enough, you know, we're not just promoting ourselves, there's other writers painting. They'll think, fair enough, let's just go and check it out. It's done by writers for writers. And I think that's why it gets the respect that people actually turn up in big numbers. And this year's going to be bigger. Artful Dodger's going to be painting.
Such events ensure that writers are not misrepresented, both from within as well as outside the scene, although opposition from sectors of the establishment is to be expected.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try.
Misrepresentation from the outside of the art form is to be expected because a lot of people don't understand what we do, they don't like what we do, so there is bound to be bias against it. But what's worse is when you get misrepresentation from the inside of the art form. Like I've seen videos where writers have been shown stereotypically with a cliched, silhouetted form, talking about
I like to express myself by writing what I think. And if I don't like something, I'm going to write about it. You know, I don't see the harm in it because it ain't going to be there for that long anyway. When am I going to stop? Well, I don't know. I'll probably stop if I get caught, but I think that's highly unlikely, don't you?
fair enough, but let the intelligent ones come forward and speak also, you know. And I think it's easy to find someone who fits the stereotypical view of writers and push that. It's easy to give people what they expect and know than to give them something different.
Commerciality has caused some writers to turn their illegal escapades into a profit, sometimes at the culture's expense, showing that giving them something different isn't always the best alternative, especially when being lured by the media machine's exploitative bandwagon.
What sort of places employ you?
We've done nightclubs. I did Lenny Henry show a while ago.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the second series of the Lenny Henry show. The BBC don't paint their own sets anymore. They just leave the window up and let vandals do it for them. Yeah, good. Drink of this, you don't mind, do you?
Some of these writers, like AD and the Chrome Angels, have been labelled sellouts by some purists within the aerosol kingdom, while others see them as seizing opportunities which were already there, realising that if they hadn't done it, somebody else would have. Also, at least it was being done by known and respected writers within the scene, as opposed to outsiders looking to make a fast buck, as has been the case in certain situations. Imitation may be the best form of flattery, but when set designers haven't the skill or know-how to pull off graphics that are supposed to be in the image of aerosol designs effectively or convincingly, the results can be pretty dismal, especially to the trained eye. The title sequence for the Hollywood Kids series, for instance, was concocted without the use of spray paint, relegating this shoddy attempt at aerosol art to the same level as the British Airways ad in terms of style and authenticity. This only further serves to demonstrate the need for writers to work together, or at least respect each other and the culture, and look to control the destiny of where their culture is going, and moreover, who's going to take it there. Especially in London, where the scene seems a lot less structured than anywhere else in Europe, and its future isn't as clear now as it used to be.